So hello and welcome to this complimentary training. I'm Chris Badgett, the CEO and co-founder of LifterLMS, which is the leading learning management system for WordPress. So what we do is we help people create, launch, and scale in-demand online courses, coaching programs, training-based membership sites. They go by a lot of different names. Just welcome everyone to the call. We are going to be sending out a replay of this, but I would encourage you to stay to the end because we are going to be doing a giveaway. So if you're still here at the end of the call, we're going to select somebody at random who is going to win a $99 add-on for LifterLMS, or if you want to get something that's more than that with that, you can apply that towards that. So stick around to the end if you can. Also, this is going to be interactive. You're going to quickly find out that I am super passionate about online courses, training-based membership sites, and you're going to have questions. You know, building these things, there's lots of options. There's lots of rabbit holes you can get stuck in. There's lots of opportunities. This is an industry I've been in for a very long time. So this is your opportunity to ask questions. So in Zoom here, there's a Q&A box. There's also a chat. So we will monitor all that and, make sure we're going to do a big Q&A at the end. There's a couple parts in this presentation I'm going to do for you today where we can get into some questions if you have some questions based on where I'm at. So if you would, as we're getting started here, please let me know just so I can deliver the most value possible for you today. What is your biggest challenge, or what is the opportunity that you are trying to take advantage of with a course, a membership site? Why are you on this call? How can I help you the most? I want to make sure I know what your goal is so I can do my best to meet it for every single person on this call. So I'm going to pull up some slides. You're going to hear me ask you a couple times to type some things in the chat. I appreciate it if you can play along and let me know what your take is so that I can make this the most relevant for you. So cool. And just before I share, I see we've got Dale who's moving into training, consulting, and coaching industry. Yep, there can be a lot of factors that play into that, whether that is trying to productize our knowledge, our skills, our life experience. Maybe it could have something to do with the challenges of our time and the global pandemic and working remotely and all these things. There's lots of reasons that people get into the online education or training space. Everybody's got a cool story. There's always lots of different roads that lead here. So I'm excited to hear what your goal is. John's saying his challenge is to market the course. We're going to get into that. There's lots of rabbit holes you can get stuck in when it comes to marketing an online course. And there's also some really simple things you can do to lay out the fundamentals for that. So thanks for playing along. I appreciate you all using the chat. We got some more coming in about servicing business owners to improve cash flow, profitability without spending more on marketing or working harder. I love that, Pat. Doing a B2B, a business-to-business course, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easier to, communicate the ROI or the return on investment of time, energy, and money. So a well-done B2B course with a clear customer, with a clear result, with clear ROI is a really good path to go down. Michael wants to do online training as a longer-term revenue to the innovation tools you put in place as companies are regularly adding people and they need to be trained on what you did originally. Totally. We can automate ourselves as consultant, or if we're a business owner, we can capture value and inside of our organization and create training assets, which is huge. Getting leads, says Luciana. Totally. We're going to get into all that So I'm going to share my screen with you. And by the way, there's going to be several parts. We're going to do like a little presentation here. I'm going to sketch out a model for you to help, illustrate how to think about online courses and training in a more holistic way. We can do a little bit of live demo about LifterLMS and, building one of these assets and education platform that you own and control that's customizable with a tool like WordPress and LifterLMS. So I'm super excited to get into it. Let me share my screen. Cool. So I'm going to blow this up big. And can somebody type in the chat if you see, just type the word program if you see the first slide that has the word program in it. Is that what you're seeing? Just want to make sure I'm sharing the right thing before I get started. Perfect. Dale, John, thanks for playing along. Cool. So you are in the right place for learning about creating a high value, in-demand online learning program on your website. There's a big mistake people make where they build the training asset on somebody else's website or what's typically known as a SaaS solution, which isn't all bad. If you're a super beginner, maybe that's the best for you. But we're going to talk today about creating a high value in demand training platform on your website. So I'm going to get into the big online education opportunity, how to think about it, trends, use cases, the technology. This is going to be full stack training today. I'm Chris Badgett. I'm the CEO and co-founder of LifterLMS. I've been in this industry in WordPress since 2008, which makes me a grandfather on the internet in internet years. I've been playing around with WordPress for 12 years now. And for me, I'm not a developer. I'm not a coder. I have a business partner who is an engineer and technologist, but I'm probably a lot like a lot of you on this call, where I'm into helping solve business problems with technology, creating assets, creating training, making the world a better place. That's what I'm all about. And I really connect with course creators and experts just like you. That's why we built the tool. That's why our tool's successful. It's why it's still here after being more than 6 years in business, because we get the course creator, and I'm just happy to serve. Our mission and our company mission and my life mission is to lift up others through education. So this is what it's all about here. And thanks for sharing some of your valuable time with me today to talk about and help you with one of my favorite subjects. So who do we help? There's 3 types of people that we help create in-demand, high-value training platforms. One group is called the builders. So these are people who build websites for the expert industry, for universities, for business owners, things like that. The more technical among us, freelancers, things like that. There's a lot of starters. So these are people who are more like a do-it-yourself professional. You want to learn how to do it. You're perhaps an expert, subject matter expert in something, or a consultant that you want to kind of productize and move from trading the hours for dollars to creating educational assets. These are the starters. And then there's the switchers. These are the people who have been in the game for a little bit. And, maybe you've put a course on Udemy. Maybe you've sold some digital files before that had some like training videos in it. Maybe you were using something like Teachable or Kajabi, and then you realized that the platform was not as customizable as you needed it to be. And perhaps you realize you wanted more control and ownership over the asset you were creating. So these people are called switchers. Let me know in the chat which one is most like you. Are you a builder, a starter, or potentially a switcher? So there's a couple of trends that I want to get into that just kind of frame all this. I see a lot of starters in the chat. Awesome. There's nothing more exciting. I remember when I sold my first organic gardening course. This was back in 2012, my first time trying to create an online course on a WordPress website. I was a starter. I went to bed. Somebody in New Zealand bought it over the night. When I woke up, there's no feeling like that. So I know exactly what it's like to do it yourself. And we're often operating with limited resources. So like the heart of the bootstrapper, the entrepreneur who has to start with from nothing to keep the resources in check, make sure we're efficient with the money we're spending and all that. I totally get the starter. Now, if we go outside of ourselves and look at the world around us, there's some trends that are emerging, kind of creating this perfect storm around the online education or online learning platform creation industry. The first is that online education is going mainstream. And online education is actually not new. I mean, the internet from whenever, like the 80s or early 90s, whenever it was started, it was actually an educational tool for transferring information between universities and stuff like that, in addition to some other parts of the government and whatnot. But online education has been around for a while, but recently, really, especially in the past several years, it's really going mainstream. We're seeing the rise of things like Udemy. We're seeing masterclass where you can like learn comedy from somebody like Steve Martin, or entrepreneurship from somebody like Sarah Blakely, and so on. Everywhere we look, everybody's got a course. Not everybody. It's still it's not like everybody's doing it, but it's definitely a household thing that everybody understands these days. The next is just the explosion of the e-learning industry. There was a stat in the e-learning industry journal where the e-learning market is going to be a $300 or $300 billion industry by 2025. Now that is huge, and it's actually probably going to be bigger than that, especially what's been happening with all that's happened recently in the world. And e-learning is a very broad category. So, a lot of you folks are starters and experts, but there's also like remote schools, there's K through 12, there's, universities, colleges, community colleges, there's continuing education, certification programs, there's businesses doing internal training, there's training companies, there's curriculum providers, there's all kinds of different niches within the e-learning industry. And just a little pro tip while we're here, the secret, as I'm sure you've heard, the riches are in the niches, but having a really tight focus and understanding of where you fit in the e-learning industry is super important to success. Because what I find is people, when they get into this industry, they get really excited and they see the opportunity and the scale of the internet, but the niche focus is super important. The next big trend is that the global pandemic education system disruption that's happening all around us right now with the COVID-19 challenges, the coronavirus of our time. This is basically, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's kind of like accelerated, 5 years of online learning adoption into, the past several months, past 10 months of the pandemic. So this is just driving more and more adoption of online learning technology. And there's a saying that, if you've heard of Dan Kennedy, he says, one of his quotes I always liked is to ask yourself the question, which side of the cash register are you on? Now that's a very kind of expert industry driven comment, but like, and this industry is just blowing up, but there's basically never been another time, if you are going to sell your training. Some people do free courses, which is totally fine, and there's lots of uses for that. But if you're on that side of the cash register where you're providing something seen as essential, especially in these times caused by the global pandemic disruption and everything, it's those forces, depending upon what your niche and your topic is, can be a real diamond in the rough of these challenging times we're in. So the other thing is just 5G on the rise, and more broadly, the trend is has to do with internet connectivity. So if we look all over the world, you know, there's still a lot of people on planet Earth that they're not online, but that is changing. And with the 5G technology and Starlink and all this stuff that's happening with internet connectivity, not just at home, but on the move, even in rural areas, the scale of the internet is really hard for the human mind to understand. We're literally wired as human beings. Like if you just go back a couple hundred years to just kind of exist within a tribe or a group of people and our immediate surroundings. But this whole internet global connectivity thing is another trend that's dramatically accelerating online education. The next thing is tool accessibility. So I've got a picture here of a YouTuber type person who's making a video. There's never been an easier time when it comes to like video cameras, your smartphone, your laptop, the apps we use to create and edit videos or have a website like and WordPress. And a lot of it is just free or low cost. Like the accessibility of tools to create, launch, and scale a high value in-demand training program have never been more approachable. It's amazing what you can do with just very little or no cost. So I'm going to get into some use cases here. And this is just different ways to clarify your thinking as somebody who's kind of starting out and wanting to get into this opportunity. What are the options? So the first is an online course, like a signature program, some people call it, a flagship course, some people call it. This is Esther, one of our customers, who is a military spouse. And what she did is she figured out in her life, she was always moving because of the military with her husband, and she figured out a way to have a career online by being a virtual assistant. And also she realized she got a lot of joy out of, you know, just having some human connections through the internet. So what she did is she built a training, like a career training course to help military spouses become virtual assistants. And since she launched this program like 4 years ago, she's gotten it up to where it was doing $50,000 a month. So this is your basic online course use case. Then we've got a training-based membership site. This is like for a coach. Now there's other use cases besides a coach, like a business coach, a health and fitness coach, a relationship coach, or a life coach, or any of the niches inside of all that. There's lots of different ways to do a training-based membership site, but this is one of our customers at LifterLMS. Her name's Melissa Love. We'll put a link in the chat to a her case study on our website, but basically she has multiple courses. She helps designers build out their business basically. So think web designers and like graphic artists and things like that. You know, marketers who are helping local businesses, this kind of industry. So she's got courses, she does these monthly webinars, she's got special deals she's negotiated for them with other tools they'll need. She's got these various guest experts that come in. She's got a library of templated files that her people need. So this is a training-based membership site use case. The next is a course marketplace. So this is where WP101 is the largest WordPress training site on the internet. They chose LifterLMS to power their membership site, but they have multiple instructors. So there's something like 10 or 15 different courses on this site. You can buy them each individually, or you can get access to a lot of them through a membership, with monthly recurring revenue, or it might actually be a lifetime payment. I can't remember which, but this is a course marketplace where you have a multi-instructor platform, and you know the instructors of the various courses split the revenue in a certain way with the site owner. Site owner teaches some of the courses or whatever, but this is a more complex course marketplace. Then we've got using courses for education-based marketing and onboarding. So this is a software company using our tool called Groundhog, and they actually use courses. Courses are not their main business. They support their business. So they have a course to help people. This is a CRM for WordPress. So they have a course about how to, get started with their CRM software called Groundhog. They even have a course for course creators, because a lot of people who build have course businesses also need a CRM. So they do a lot of training around the intersection of those two worlds. And they built a certified partner program so that they could train, they could get paid by service providers to be experts on their site that get like a listing and get referred business too. So that's using a LMS for education-based marketing and onboarding. We have a course like this on our site, a quick start course for our software, LifterLMS, which is actually one of the biggest drivers of email list growth for us. It's not like checklists or lead magnet type thing. We do have some of those, but our free course, which is like a free 20-minute course that adds a lot of value really quick and kind of shows the essentials. Over the years, we've had somewhere around 20,000 people opt into our email list through that, and also learn how to use LifterLMS. So for those of you, I saw some comments earlier on this call who are looking for more leads and marketing. I'd encourage you to start thinking about using a free course in your marketing stack. So it's cool to make videos and lead magnets and PDFs and things, but think about a free course, a mini course that you could use to generate leads and warm up your prospects and build trust, so that the buying decision that comes later is much easier to do. Next, there's internal training. This is like, safety training. Maybe you create courses and you sell it into a company around safety, or maybe the business owners themselves make their own training. And then the last one, which is really really expanding rapidly right now, is the remote learning or remote schools happening at all levels. This is one of our customers in Nevada, online degree program, a college that uses LifterLMS to power their remote school. So here's the problem with the LMS industry landscape. If you're on this call, I know you're super excited about courses and figuring it all out. And I want to warn you about what can happen, or some of the big areas that can distract you and waste time and money. So the first is what I call the software Frankenstein. This is where you get too many different tools made by different companies that weren't designed to work well together, and you try to build your business and you end up with this. It's just too many tools that they're not really connecting together well and doing what you really want things to do, and it's costing you a lot of money. So that's what we lovingly call the software Frankenstein. Yes, you will use a handful of tools made by different companies, but it's really easy to get out of hand and end up with way too many tools, and that cost too much and are poorly supported. So just watch out for that one. The next thing is not being monetized appropriately. We see this a lot on YouTube as an example. So if you are a niche expert in something and you're making YouTube videos or making a podcast or something like that, and you say, hey, at the end, like, go donate to my Patreon or whatever, or you have like a membership site, but it's not really well thought out, and you got some content in there, and it's just not really structured in a way that your platform, your business can be monetized to the level that it could be, which we've got a lot of solutions for. We'll get into in a little bit. The next big thing is content theft. You've worked really hard to develop your training material, your assets, and all this stuff. You want that stuff secure, and especially if you get into the recurring revenue courses and coaching and online community models and stuff that you can do. You want that access to go away if the recurring payment is not met or they cancel. So, securing your content is super important. The other big problem in our industry is low engagement. This is where we get really excited as an expert or a starter that is going in on this niche, but our students, maybe they sign up or they pay and then they refund, or they they start and they're really active for like a week and then they disappear. Having a membership site or a course or an academy that's not engaging is a big challenge. So we want to address that head on up front. And then the last big thing is choosing tools that are not flexible, that leave you trapped without a lot of options. So, certain LMS platforms or whatever it is, they all the sites look the same. And, if you don't want it to do something, or if you want to do something different than like the small handful of features it has, you're just out of luck, which is the opposite of what's possible in WordPress. It does come with a little more technical responsibility, but you have to decide what you want. What do you prioritize? How important is customizability and ownership and flexibility and the ability to really scale or even change business models? You might go from like, I'm going to do one online course, then you go to like a coaching program that's more elaborate and you have this training-based membership site, and then you bring in multiple instructors and now you have a course marketplace. Are you set up so that you have the most options and you can scale without putting all this work in, having to switch platforms later? So here's my promise to you is I want to help you unlock creative freedom, sell and maximize revenue, protect your content, engage your learners, and connect to anything. Most importantly, the tools you're already using, or if you need to integrate something else, that it's not the end of the world, that there are options to connect what you need to connect. So as we go forward through this, I'd like you to keep 3 big ideas in mind. The first is this concept of an all-in-one solution. Now, a little caveat here, you're still going to have some multiple tools in your business, but for the most part, the LMS, the e-commerce, the membership, the engagement, we want an all-in-one solution. The next is this idea around not just putting a paywall in front of a membership site where we lock information and charge a fee for it, but how do we design a in-demand program that creates results that people will naturally refer, where marketing becomes easy because people are being successful with the course or the coaching program? And then the third big idea here is that ability to connect with anything. At LifterLMS, we want the tools you use to feel like a great enabler of your vision, not some hassle or something that's got you trapped. Technology should be a great enabler. It shouldn't be a hurdle. There's going to be a learning curve and stuff, but we want you to be able to use the tools you want to use and get the job done and build something truly unique and beautiful. So the top benefits of working with a WordPress LMS like LifterLMS is that it allows you to create, to sell, to engage, to protect, and connect to the tools that you want to use and need to use to meet your business objectives. So I'm going to go into each of these individually. So in terms of creation, this creative act of the course creator, it's important to be able to have a vehicle to get the vision out of your head and onto the web. So this is the one screen course builder interface inside LifterLMS that allows you to kind of lay out your whole course, kind of like the table of contents of the book. If you've ever thought about writing a nonfiction book, or preparing a presentation, which I'm sure many of you have done, you got to spend some time getting organized before you get into the content. And you can always change it later, or kind of go back and forth between right brain, left brain. But creating courses from one screen is hugely powerful. You can even add your videos, and if you get into assignments and quizzes and things like that, you can do it all from this one screen. The next thing is that you can create any training and business model. So, many tools out there, like, they do one thing, like it's an online community tool, it's a course tool, it's a membership plugin. But we want you to be able to create any training and business model that you can think of without getting caught into a software Frankenstein situation. And we want a tool that can grow with you, especially if you're an entrepreneur that's validating and wants to keep costs down in the beginning, and have the freedom to change your business model later. We also want you to be able to create your own unique brand. These are just, there's something like 17,000 sites powered by LifterLMS on the internet. We've taken a few screenshots of some of them, but basically you can make it look like whatever you want it to look like. So it's important, especially building an asset, that it's not cookie cutter. You're creating your own unique brand and design. The other thing, while less exciting, is compliance flexibility. So depending upon where you live in the world, you may have some GDPR requirements, or you might be working in a situation where you need people to agree to certain terms or acknowledge different things. LifterLMS has the ability to create whatever kind of compliance requirements you have right into the flow of the training platform. And then we want you to be able to create enrollment your way. So if you want lifetime access, you want limited time access, you want a course start date or an end date, or they enroll but they can't start right away. You want one-time payment plans, private coaching, upsell, all that enrollment optionality is built right into LifterLMS. And it's important to be able to sell and monetize. If you're here on this call and you're planning on selling courses or coaching or training, if you would, type the word sell in the chat. If you're going to do free training for some reason, type the word free. I just want to see the mix we have here of people who are going to be selling versus doing free training. Free and sell. Awesome. We got sell from Adam, sell from John. Cool. So yeah, a lot of people, this is a business. Like, we're building a platform here. Paid, says Steven. So we want to be able to package and monetize. That's the whole magic, is productizing knowledge, productizing learning journeys through courses and training-based memberships. We want to be able to get sales, but we also want to be able to get leads. You can see on here the official quick start course for LifterLMS. This is that free course that's generated over 20,000 leads for LifterLMS. Sometimes the marketing doesn't have to be that complicated. I call it show, don't tell marketing. Actually, I'm not saying you shouldn't tell and have landing pages and good sales pages, but some buyers, especially the more logical buyer, not necessarily as emotional, they're just like, show me the product. Let me take it for a test drive. Let me see what it's like to learn from you. So have a free course. I saw somebody on here, Dale was saying free and sell. Doing a combination is super valuable. It's important, when you get somebody on your LMS for free, they're already a user on your site. So when it comes time to buy, they're comfortable with you. They know how to use the website. They already have an account. It's an overlooked way of generating leads and selling through having what I call a free course lead magnet. the next thing we want you to do is to be able to maximize your profit. So you may have a course, but you might also have coaching or community. Like LifterLMS has a private areas add-on for, we call it, for creating a coaching, sort of like having private content per student and like a place where you interact with people individually and have conversations. We've got a community add-on called Social Learning that helps you build a similar, a lightweight version of something like a Facebook group on your site. So that's called social learning or whatever. So you can maximize profit. There's lots of ways to do it, but you can, if you have a private coaching upsell and a community for people to go into, whether you do it on your site or you do it in a Facebook group or in whatever, there's lots of ways to maximize profit, because what you'll find is that, you know, some of your buyers and your students will kind of cluster into these different groups of what they want in terms of access to you and support versus, and also access to a community and things like that. So there's often untapped revenue inside the design of the various options in your platform. So a lot of us want recurring revenue. The key to this is, of course, recurring value. So Lifter's got tools where you can, you know, do monthly recurring payments. You can add in, you can basically build out these feature lists of what they get with the various plans. Even the website itself can function differently, like the private coaching add-on we were talking about. There's lots of ways when you own the platform and it's flexible that you can create recurring value, which helps you create recurring revenue. The other big thing I'm a big fan of, and I've learned the hard way, perhaps some of you have too, is that we're entrepreneurs. We like to start things. We like to create things. We like to go into, I call it the course creation cave, and just start like making videos, making outlines and stuff, which I think you should do. I think you should definitely make the outline and the course sales page. But we have features for pre-selling so that you can make sure there's market demand before you spend a month or multiple months or even a year creating some kind of program. You can really test the market and get paid real money, credit cards through your website, PayPal, all that in advance. And you can even get people started. We've got drip content and things like that so that you can do a straight pre-sale or do like create with them as they go kind of thing. Everything, all those different options are available in LifterLMS. Now, engagement is super important. There's been studies, something like 10% of courses actually get completed in the e-learning industry, which is really sad. But the cure to that is what I call the results revolution. This is where we're not just selling information, we're helping your people get the results that you promised in your marketing through various kinds of engagement strategies. One of those is a community, like this, our social learning add-on, where you have like a member directory. So the website doesn't feel like a ghost town. People can interact with other members and connect. We have detailed reporting and analytics. So this is one of the things that makes an LMS or a learning management system different from a like just a straight up quote membership site or a course platform. Inside here in the LMS, we have all this reporting and data and when this person last logged in and what they said on this question, even what percentage of a video somebody's watched in a particular lesson. This is all about understanding your learner so that you can treat them like individuals. And we have tools to build automation. Like if somebody fails a quiz, you can automate certain emails to go out and stuff like that. But when we treat our students like people and individuals, and it doesn't have to become a full-time job, we can just go into our LMS reporting, check in, see how our students are doing, who's doing well, who's doing average, who's not doing well, and respond a little differently to some of those folks. The other thing we have is progress control. So this is the drip content or the future start date. You know, the mistake to make with a membership site, especially if you're some kind of subject matter expert or niche expert, is that you just put up a membership site and throw people into it. And if you have tons of content, it's completely overwhelming. Or somebody gets into a course and they're super excited and they start going through the videos and maybe skipping around, and then maybe they're not doing the assignments things you're asking them to do to integrate the learning or take action on the learning. We can control all that with drip content and prerequisites and things like that. Gamification is also important. It's not just for kids. In the United States, we have the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts and organizations like that. I mean, where you get achievement badges and like that you sew on your clothes. We can do the same thing in a online learning environment with digital badges or achievement badges based on behavior in the LMS. That's just a part of Lifter that is super cool. I've seen it used with kids. I've seen it used with adults. They're a lot of fun. And even if your course or training is serious in nature, I've seen people really enjoy, even with more serious courses, just having some gamification and badging going on as well. The next thing is protecting your content. So we can keep your content safe, so you can allow people to, view the outline and not get into it. We've got tools or settings where you can actually hide the entire outline. Like if you want to keep that a secret until they buy, you can do that. Each user gets their own user account. So they have their own profile. They can pick up where they left off. All their courses and everything shows up there. If they can update their credit card, they could switch to a PayPal payment. They could self-cancel without having to call you and do that if they're gonna cancel. So this is a protection thing where your content's secure and individual users have the right access to the right things at the right pace that you want them to have. We've got all the privacy controls around GDPR compliance and whatever legal terms you may need to comply to. And the last thing we have is the connection, where you can connect to the tools that you're already using. Like in WordPress, if you already have a WordPress website, let me know in the chat. Just type the word WP if you already have WordPress or you've used it before. Do people here already have a WordPress site? Cool. See, this is the thing. We got a lot of people who are already on WordPress. If you're new to WordPress, it's all good. We have training courses on how to, use WordPress and understand it. There is a learning curve. Even if you're already pretty experienced, I would still recommend taking our free WordPress course. We'll put a link in the chat that just goes over the basics. But, in WordPress, we have these other plugins, like these form plugins here, like WP Forms, Ninja Forms, Formidable Forms. These are all tools that actually LifterLMS integrates with directly to create some fancy integrations in terms of requiring people to complete forms at various stages or creating unique enrollment forms and things like that. And there's thousands of WordPress plugins. So that's the beauty of WordPress is you want to add something, it probably already exists in a free or paid plugin. We're listed on the Zapier app directory. So if you are using something else, like another app, or you want, when certain things happen in the LMS, you want things to happen in other applications, you can just automate all that without being a developer through Zapier. And then this is a little nerdy, but we have our REST API, which just means that the LifterLMS code that the software is in is written in such a way that if you want to add a feature, or add functionality, or create a mobile app that goes with your WordPress site, we've set it up in a way so that it's easier for developers to do their thing add functionality, connect it with a mobile app and things like that. So that's our connect to anything without limits via our REST API. So the next thing I want to do is show you a model about a different way to think about online training and really setting you up for success to make sure you're going to be successful. So if anybody has a quick question before I go into the model, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm just setting up here. If not, I'll do it after I show you the model. Let's see here. Pause. There we go. All right. So let's see if I can get out of there. There we are. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my iPad with you. If you got questions, just keep typing, keep it coming in. And if you can see an iPad screen, somebody just write the word iPad in the chat, just so I know that we are sharing the right screen. Cool, iPad, appreciate it. Thanks for playing along, you all. So this is what I call the WordPress LMS growth engine. So this is what, as a subject matter expert, whatever niche you're in, if you keep in mind what I'm about to show you, I think it can help fill in some gaps and help you find some results quicker than they may be happening right now. So what LifterLMS allows you to do is to create, launch, and scale high-value training programs online. But there's more that goes into this. So as I'm just coloring these in here, when we do this successfully, we hear this a lot, but I'm going to unpack it a lot more than probably what you've heard before. When we create, launch, and scale our high-value training, we get freedom, and that can mean different things to different people. And so when we launch and we scale well, we get the financial freedom. So this is if you're selling courses or a training-based membership site, you're trying to make money. So that's the financial kind of freedom, which is kind of the most obvious. If we're able to successfully create and launch, we create what I call impact freedom. So this is our desire to change the world, to put a dent in the universe, to help a certain kind of people, to wrong a right that happened, or maybe try to help somebody else not go through what we went through in a certain situation, or if they are in it, help them get out of it quicker. This is where we're, driven by our heart to make an impact and leave a legacy, and that's a certain type of freedom. Not everybody gets to work, in a way where they walk away jazzed, like feeling like they made a difference, So that's another type of freedom. The other least obvious, or least, front and center, is creative freedom. So the human being, in my opinion, wasn't designed to just wake up in the morning, go to a 9-to-5 job that they dislike, and perhaps sit in a desk, sit in traffic, deal with office politics, whatever it is. I'm a pretty optimistic guy, so I don't want to dwell on that stuff. But a lot of us are motivated by creative freedom. We want our work life to be our best life, where we're making the money, we're making the difference, and we're getting to be ourselves and create the way we want to create and, work in our zone of genius or whatever you want to call it. That's creative freedom. So how does LifterLMS help you do these things? Well, in terms of creation, we were looking at the free course lead magnet strategy. That's where we are, using our LMS website to grow our tribe. So this is part of creation is not just about making a course in a business. It's about creating a community of people. So then the part that we all know we have to do is we got to design the program. So remember the use cases at the beginning of this conversation? What are we doing? Are we creating a course, a coaching program, some internal training for our company? Are we selling into other companies? What are we doing? We got to design the program, and we need a flexible tool that's going to help us adapt as perhaps our program is going to change over time. And then, I was showing you the course builder at the beginning of this presentation is we need to be able to produce content. We're in the middle of this big digital transformation that's happening because of the global pandemic. Content creation and the skills and the ability to do that on a platform have never been more valuable. And then we've got the launching part. Some of you said that your biggest challenge or opportunity you wanted to take advantage of is around marketing or leads. So part of launching effectively is to actually implement the technology. We got to do it. We got to get our free course up. We got to get our opt-in, whatever we're doing. We got to get all that stuff up. We got to implement the technology. And, we help you do that. We're known for having incredible customer support. We've also got training courses so you can learn it on your own how to use the tool. And we even have a expert program where we have a list of people that are, experts in LifterLMS and WordPress and lead generation and these things that can help you implement the technology. And then once you've got that up and you got that website up, you can start filling the funnel using the free course, using a free trial. We got a feature where if you're a coach and you want to give like first month free or first days free and just give them a taste of the platform, you can fill your funnel that way. There's lots of ways to do it. You can implement a referral program where, like in the last lesson of a course, somebody has to fill out a form with a testimonial or refer a friend, or maybe it's optional, things like that. We've got tools to help you fill your funnel and then ultimately convert. So we've got our conversion optimized one screen checkout that has been tested over time. So if we go back to the software Frankenstein idea, there's whole products out there that just create a cart. For us, the cart and the conversion is important, and we do what the checkout needs to do to be conversion optimized. But we also got to have this whole integrated solution. So this is conversion is an area where you can get a little sidetracked in the software Frankenstein deal. I'm just putting that out there. The next big one that we help you with in terms of scaling, it's a good feeling when your platform starts taking off, but that introduces some new problems. So how that manifests itself is not enough time in the day, which is a good problem to have. You got too many students, too many sales calls, whatever it is, you need to install automation. So Lifter has tons of tools designed to help you automate things from e-commerce to even some of your private coaching components, emails. We came out of the Infusionsoft industry many, many years ago. So a lot of that thinking around behavioral automation that we use in our marketing, we can also use inside of a learning pathway, and all that's built into LifterLMS. Also, one of the best ways to scale is to build a great program where the students actually refer others without us even asking them. In order to do that, we have to delight our learners. We need to have a program that is designed to be engaging, to work, to get them the result promised in the marketing. And when we delight our learners, scaling up in referrals is that's the best marketing you can ever do. And the other way you scale is by growing your team. So we help you grow your team. So we're here to support you at LifterLMS. We want to be your technology partner. You have a problem, or you're getting stuck, or you don't know what to do, and you're implementing the technology. We got your back. You ask us an unlimited amount of questions, and we will help you out. There's even, when it comes to engagement, like if you get our LifterLMS Infinity Bundle, there's a weekly call. I just ran it an hour ago with what I call our office hours mastermind, where I'm there, Chris Badgett, the CEO and co-founder of the company, and I help our top customers with whatever strategy help they need with, if they have tech questions or they're using other tools and they have questions. That's super important. So we see ourselves as a technology partner for you, but in our industry, there's this problem. I call it the 5 hats problem. So to be an education entrepreneur, so if you're building an in-demand online course or membership, you have to be a expert in some topic. You have to be a teacher, so you have to be able to teach, coach, mentor, that kind of thing. You have to be a community builder. You need to know how to build a tribe of prospects and a learning community once they make the sale. You have to be an instructional designer, and you have to be an entrepreneur. So you have to be you need to do marketing, you need to build a business, you need to hook up bank accounts, you need to get, Stripe hooked up and all these different things. And you got to be a techie. So all this stuff, I call it the 5 hats problem. We have to wear 5 hats. We can do it all ourselves in the beginning, especially if you're trying to validate. But ultimately, the people I see that are the most successful grow the team, and they get some help. And we have lots of different ways that, if we can't do it, we know who can, and we can make the introduction and that kind of thing. So that is the the sort of the map of what we do at LifterLMS. I'd love to hear in the chat, what do you need to do the most right now? Is it grow your tribe, design the program, produce the content, implement the technology, fill the funnel, convert sales, automate stuff and buy back some time, delight your learners, or grow the team? What do you need the most right now? I'd love to hear some of y'all. Just where are you feeling the most friction? I find this this map helps. So once we see all this, there's a lot to do, but now we know, maybe if things aren't quite working right, or we just feel overwhelmed and we kind of forgot what we need to do next or whatever, this can help. So we've got Implementing the technology so you can make your course available, huge. That's a big one. The funnel, getting the leads flowing, have to grow the tribe since you are just starting out. Totally. I totally get that. These are all super important. So I'm going to just go back to my slides for a moment. And then I'm going to open up a site just to look at together. And then we'll take some questions. Yep, in the create stage. Yeah, it's fine. Like, here's the mistake people make with courses. Appreciate you saying that, Dale. Is they don't give themselves permission to take it one step at a time. There is no such thing as like, it takes longer than we think. It's harder than we think. A lot of the, it's easy to buy a dream or whatever, but it's going to take a while to be a serious education entrepreneur. So you don't want to jump ahead to the scale stage where you're trying to automate too much or grow in your team before you've done some of the foundational legwork at the creation stage. Like growing the tribe is a very great place to start, because the first thing you need to do when you create a tribe is you need to figure out who you want to help. That's a question a lot of people skip. Is, you know, they make it about them and their expertise or their passion, but without getting clear on that who, which is the first step in growing a tribe, everything else downstream, there's a lot of problems and whatever. So just it's totally cool to be at the create stage and not rush ahead into launching and scaling. So let me actually pull up this site and we're gonna look at this. So this is the LifterLMS site. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to build a course in 5 minutes. And then we're pretty much going to be done with this presentation. And I will stay as long as you all want if you have questions. So this is the LifterLMS software. We have a test site you can play around with if you want to get that. It's actually free right now. We're experimenting with just not even charging for that and just doing that as a service. It's not a moneymaker for us. It's just has a hosting cost, but basically it has all our software installed with demo content. It looks exactly like this, where you can basically play around with things and try it out. So this is the LifterLMS Quick Start course here. This is a free course. You know, we've got lessons where you've got me doing video tutorials of how to build out the site. And essentially what this free course does is it shows you in 20 minutes how to use the 5% of the features in LifterLMS to launch your course and the whole website in just like, you know, an hour, 2 hours a day, a couple days, depending upon how fast you are with tech and stuff like that. But just to show you how to start, I just wanted to pull up this little document I have here. So I have the way I think about starting with an online course is I've got an image, like this is my kind of like my book cover, my course featured image. So we're going to make a fake course around how to use Zoom. And then all I do to start is I just create an outline like you can see here. I'm just using a simple text document. I've got the title, the working title of my course. Remember, just like writing a book, we don't have to be perfect. Don't have to be perfect. We can always, it's a working title. We can change it later. We've got sections, which helps us organize our course. So just a pro tip for you all that are here. A course should have like a learning objective or an outcome. This is how we go from information-based thinking to result-based thinking. So if I'm going to teach a teacher, let's say, who has to use Zoom for the first time because of a global pandemic, I'm going to teach them how to, the end result or the learning objective is you're going to be able to run your live virtual classroom with Zoom without stress and knowing how to use the tech and whatever. Like that's my learning objective. But to do that, I need to break it up into sections like, okay, let's learn how to do meetings. Or first we're going to do the fundamentals, like what's in the introduction. Then we're going to learn meetings, how to do a meeting. And then we're going to learn how to do a webinar like what you folks are in right now. This is a webinar, different way of using Zoom. And then we're going to show you how to use Zoom with your learning management system. So when you're using a Zoom, just like we're doing right now, there is a record button. And when we record our presentations, now we have content which we can put in the learning management system. So there's a whole bunch of parts to learning Zoom, but we've broken them down into chunks. So this is called chunking. This is part of course creation here. So I'm not going to build this whole course out, but I just want to show you how easy it is. And then I've uploaded some videos to a Vimeo Pro account and put, set the settings in there in my Vimeo account that it's only playable on my LMS site. So it's called domain whitelisting. It's kind of a little fancy thing, but so just to show you real quick how easy it is to use that course builder, I'm going to go into the back of this website. And I'm going to go to course, add course. And I'm going to call this one Zoom for Educators. I'm going to publish it. And then I'm also just going to kind of put that book cover on there. So here's my course image. I'm just adding it. I'm going to set that and publish that. I'm not going to write a whole sales letter for you, but I can do stuff in like this area to just add a bunch of content to the sales page. And then down here is the course builder. Let me make sure I'm saved there. And then I'm going to launch the course builder. So this screen is that screen we were looking at in the presentation where we can build an entire course from one screen. So I'm going to add a section. I was calling that one Introduction. And then I'm going to add some lessons under that. I can drag them over, reorder things, and so on. I had the next one called Meetings. And then let's say there were, more lessons in there. I'm going to add that third section, add some more lessons. I'm not going to build out the whole course, but you get the idea. We're building our outline here and making sure we're saved there. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some content in here. So our first one, I'd have to look back at my notes, is called What is Zoom? And then we have a lesson video. So I'm just going to call this What is Zoom? And then we have a lesson video. And so that is in there. And if we look at our course, so I'll just want to show you what we've already created right here. As you can see, we're building an online course. It's coming together. It's on the WordPress website we already have. And then if I were to start just adding some payment information on this, I would go down to here. I would add what we call an access plan. Let's say we're going to add a one-time payment. And that's going to be $1,000 one-time payment. let's just make it an annual subscription. So every year for all time, $1,000. And let's say we want to add a payment plan option, and we'll just say that's $100 every month. So they end up paying a little more if they want to do the monthly plan. And let's just add one more, which is the course plus private coaching. And this one is $10,000 every year for all time. So if we look at it, and I'm going to bring it around to the front end, you can see that we've built a course. We started putting content in here. Oh, that video doesn't exist anymore, but you get the idea. And we've got our e-commerce in place so that, you know, our teacher who wants to get private coaching can come in here and pay. And I'm looking at this site as a user that's logged in. So if I were to look at that page not logged in, we have our conversion optimized one screen checkout, take the credit card payment, and they're in. So, and then here, I'll give you one more pro tip here. If we're, go back to our course, and what is today's date? It's somewhere in November. Can somebody give me the date in the chat? It's the 7th. So let's give this a course start date of December 1st. Okay. It looks like we have an international audience. It could be the 7th somewhere. It could be the 6th, could be the 5th. It's all good. So, all right. So now what we've done by giving this course a start date is we can go pre-sell this course. This is what I mean, is we can go take this to the market right now and somebody can buy this and it has a future start date. You see how it says the course opens on December 1st? So literally, if we were to spend, if I was to take about an hour and really build out my lesson structure and give it a future start date, somebody could buy it without being able to get inside the lesson content yet, which would allow me to validate my course and then start selling, which will give me confidence to go in and be like, cool, I got like 5 buyers or 50 buyers or 500 buyers, whatever it is, I'm going to go make this thing. So that's just a high level overview. You know, of course, we could make multiple courses. We could create memberships and protect other parts of our site and get more complicated. We can do multiple instructors. We've got a lot of different options, and I'm going to show you just, let me get this up, and we're going to transition here in a second to questions. But I showed you the model about how to build a WordPress LMS growth engine for your business with LifterLMS. And I wanted to ask you if you can see yourself using a LMS in your business that you own and control. So that's what I'm presenting to you for today. As you can tell, we love our customers. We're super passionate about this, about WordPress, about owning your content, about creating a training asset, about changing the world and helping you work the way that you want to work. And I got a special deal for you. I actually had to make it super special because we're doing our Black Friday all month sale right now, which is more than we ever do at 20% off. So you get something even bigger. So if you decide you want to use LifterLMS, use the coupon code special21 and you will get 21% off. So the biggest discount we're offering. And that's over at LifterLMS.com. So special21 is the coupon code if you want to check it out. We do have the ability to like take it for a test drive before you commit. If you want to do that, that's what the button at the top of the homepage does. So check that out. I want to thank you for letting me have this time in your life to present to you. My mission and our company mission is to lift up others through education. And I want to help you do the same because I know you have a course inside of you. So thank you for checking this out. And I am happy to take any questions that anybody has. So let me stop my share. And we've got the chat. We've got the Q&A box. If anybody has a question, feel free to let me know. And I saw I missed somebody's hand up earlier. I don't know if you're still on the call, Michael, but if you wanted to chat live or had a question, I'd be happy to get into that. Assessments available. Yes. So let me show you what that's all about, John. All right. So if we get into here, so this, if we go back into the course and I'm just launching the course builder here. We have quizzes and we have assignments here. So if I wanted to drop a quiz in here, I've got all these different question types I can use. So, oh, and Dale, to your question, I did set the coupon good for the end of the month. So yeah, you should be fine. It's good to go till the end of the month. So we've got, how many is this? 9, 10, 11 different question types. So there's multiple choice, picture choice, true, false, reorder items, fill in the blank, long answer, short answer. These ones in here, these advanced questions are part of our advanced quizzes add-on. And some of these are fully automated, like multiple choice or true, false. But if you want to have like people upload something or write an essay or do a short answer style assessment, this is all possible. And we've got like weighting where you can assign points or not. Like if you just want it to be like more of something to reinforce learning and there's no grade, just drop that to 0. So there's, and you can have 1 questions and have like micro quizzes or, lots of different questions. I mean, you can have a massive 100 question thing here. So I can't talk and type at the same time. And, it's flexible. So you can have as many answers as you want. And, let it know which one is the correct answer. You can have a mix of automatically graded or not. And again, you can make it gradable or just move it to having no point value. We also have assignments. So this is a assignment add-on we have. So there's if you're into, I'm a big believer in getting your learners taking action. So if you want to, like if I was going to teach you how to build a LifterLMS site, I would create maybe a list of tasks you need to do. Install LifterLMS plugin. And So basically I'm like creating a task list, and I can link these up to like URLs and stuff. Install all the add-ons, you know, smile and so on. And I can create a task list. I can also do essay and upload assignment types. So if you're teaching somebody how to make something digital, or you want to collect a voice recording or a video through the upload process, there's different, it's flexible. So whatever kind of assessment, quizzing, or assignment you can do, there's a lot of options there. So Patria is asking, is there a one-time lifetime cost? We offer annual subscriptions. So it's an annual subscription. Let's look at it over here. So, and you can cancel anytime. But the way the pricing works is basically there's 2 bundles, and then all of our add-ons can be purchased individually if you really want to pick and choose. So this little chart here shows what all the different add-ons are in the different bundles. The LifterLMS has like a core plugin and then all the various add-ons. So these are all the core plugin features here. These are our payment gateways. So a lot of people, not everybody goes for like the big bundle right away. You can always upgrade later. It's common for some people to just start with like a payment gateway and that's it. And, you know, maybe later they decide they want to do advanced assignments and that kind of thing. And then also if you're moving around on the LifterLMS website, if you go to add-ons here, you can see the individual add-ons. So like groups is for, you know, selling training into a company. I mean, this is a pretty big opportunity. If you can sell one course into a organization that has 100 employees or whatever, you're doing pretty good. So that's like what the groups add-on is for. Advanced quizzes we looked at, assignments, advanced videos, does some advanced video tracking. Social learning gives you that Facebook-like experience on your website. Private areas gives you that private content per course, per user, or per membership, per member, which is that upselling, that private coaching component. Custom fields allows you to really customize the enrollment flow. And then we've got PDFs, which make it easy to create like certification programs and people can share their PDF certificates around. And then we've got our integrations for like the e-commerce components, integrating with the popular email list platforms and the WordPress form plugins, text messaging. There's that group call that I run every week for strategy support and live tech support. And then we've got a bunch of graphics we hook you up with as well. So there's a lot of that. So the next question from John is, why use this instead of Teachable or Thinkific? What is your USP? We're kind of looking at it in the sense that you can do a lot more with all these different tools. And also you're creating the asset on your website that you own and control. So Thinkific and Teachable are really good at creating courses, but they're just not as customizable and flexible and as extendable as these are. So, let's see. Cool. How well do courses created with Lifter work on mobile phones? They work great. Everything we do on LifterLMS is mobile responsive. So, you know, if we take this website, let me pull up this version. If we take this website that we were working on here and we shrink it down on a mobile phone, you see how it adapts. So all of this is fully mobile responsive. And yeah, so you're essentially, this is the cool thing about LifterLMS is you're building a, this is a website, but what you're really building is a web application. So you're building a learning management system web application on your website that you own and control. So that's pretty cool to be able to do it. This website is not a brochure for your business. It literally is the platform for your education company. So, all right, let's see. Let me stop the share there. Was there anything in the Q&A box? Okay, Petrea asks, how does LifterLMS differ from Ruzuku, LearnDash, and others? Biggest challenge opportunity is to structure a course on a budget and still make it look great. And then you also have a follow-up question. Anything in this that helps target the right niche? FYI, my connection is poor and you're looking forward to the recording. Thanks. Cool. So to your question, Petrea, part of it is a philosophical thing. So at LifterLMS, we focus on the customer, our customer, the course creator, you, people like you, not our competition. So I'm not a LifterLMS or a LearnDash or a Ruzuku expert. So I'm focused on Lifter. We talk to course creators like you all here, and really build our product around your needs as experts and coaches, or if you're building these types of sites for your clients. So really the big things, the three things we hear from our customers about what makes LifterLMS special are that we're known for having an incredible community with high levels of support. We're known for being a all-in-one yet still extendable solution. And we're known for having a focus around designing programs that, with the reporting and analytics and the automation and the engagement that create better learning results or more completion rates, not just, locking down information or selling access to information. So those are some of the biggest differences. I'd encourage you to join the LifterLMS Facebook group and ask around in there, because there's a lot of people that switch to Lifter from some of the tools you mentioned, and they'll let you know why they decided to do that. And then Petrea asks if there's anything that helps target the right niche. If you're here still, Kathy, maybe you can find it. I'm doing a webinar next week for GoWP, which is like where I'm going to really go into niching for LMS. And if you can make that training, I would encourage you to do it. We don't have a pre-recorded one I can share with you, but GoWP, there's a training I've done around niching, and I have a whole worksheet and model where we go into like how to like laser focus on a niche and to find the most profitable niche and find the best niche for you. So we're going to be doing a deep dive on that. So, and that's a training I'm doing for a different group. It's actually for people who build these types of sites for clients, but it's just as relevant if you're looking for help with niching, because it's super fundamental to get clear on that and understand the broader ecosystem that your training sits within. So thanks for the great question. And you also asked about a recording that will be we will get the replay out, and you'll be able to watch that. Do we have anything else? It looks like we just drew our winner. It is John Williams. You're the winner of the free year of one of the LifterLMS $99 add-ons. So check out the chat. We're going to drop instructions there. You just need to email team@lifterlms.com, and we will hook you up with that whichever add-on, the $99 value, or how you want to go forward with that. So congratulations to John. We appreciate it. Thank you for the exclamation points. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Cool. Well, I think we got through everybody. So I just want to reiterate one more time that we've got this coupon code special21 if you want to give LifterLMS a try. Petrea, there's a link in the chat. If you go up several conversations, you'll see that link, gowp.com/webinars. You'll see one on there that I'm doing that you can register for. That's where I'm going to go into niching. So LifterLMS.com, use special code special21 for an even better deal than what our Black Friday all November people are gonna get. Here, let me put it in the chat for you. There you go. Oh, thanks, Kathy. So special21, that link is there for you. Petrea, sorry. And I just wanted to thank you all again for letting me do my best work and our mission to lift up others through education. It's great to be with you all on the journey. I'm Chris Badgett from LifterLMS. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today. Appreciate it. Kathy, thanks for helping me put this on. Keep an eye on your email for the replay. We will send that out. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care.